The memory palace of mind palaces. Let's start with a hack fit for Sherlock Holmes, or at least anyone who wants to remember where they left their keys. The memory palace, or method of Lauci, stretches back to ancient Greece, where orators like Cicero had to remember hours of speeches without a single PowerPoint slide in sight. By turning your mind into a grand palace, you assign pieces of information to specific rooms or locations. Want to memorize your grocery list? Imagine apples in your bathtub and cheese lounging on your sofa. Strangely effective, right? The Renaissance polymath Matteo Ricci even taught memory palaces in Beijing, dazzling scholars with feats of recall. Neuroscientists have since found that memory champions quite literally light up their brain's spatial areas when using this trick. So next time you're lost for a name at a party, just stroll through your mental mansion. No embarrassing pauses needed. Why cram when you can elegantly redecorate your mind? Doodling for deep thinking. Teachers may frown when they see doodles in the margins, but history begs to differ. Did you know that some of history's greatest minds, think Da Vinci, Darwin, and even Einstein, were prolific doodlers? Recent research suggests doodling isn't a sign your mind is wandering. Rather, it helps anchor your focus and unblocks creativity. Suni Brown, advocate for info-doodling, calls it deep thinking in disguise. Doodling engages both hemispheres of the brain, logic on one side, imagination on the other, having a little drawing party. Picture that. Some psychologists think doodling lets you process ideas without overthinking, a kind of mind mulch for big breakthroughs. So if anyone questions your squiggly daydreaming, remind them, even the most complex equations may have started as a humble stick figure. Why just listen when you can sketch your way to superintelligence? Sleep learning, tuning into your subconscious. Ever wish you could learn French while getting 8 hours of beauty sleep? Welcome to sleep learning, or hypnopedia, for fans of Huxley's Brave New World. This idea has flickered through the history of neuroscience and self-help. Thomas Edison reportedly took micro-naps while holding metal balls, startling himself awake to spark fresh ideas from his liminal subconscious. Modern science debunks the myth that we can master calculus overnight, but sleep does help us consolidate memories and fuse unrelated concepts. In fact, neuroscientist Matthew Walker argues that sleep is the single most effective thing we can do to reset our brain and body. Listening to gentle language tapes or guided meditations while snoozing may boost recall. So long as you don't mind the occasional dream in a foreign accent, why not rest smarter? The pillow might just be the next frontier for real-life mental hacks. Meditation, unplugging your overactive brain. Imagine a mental off switch for the endless caffeinated inner monologue. Meditation has existed for millennia, sprouting from Indian, Chinese, and later Western philosophies, where monks and mystics found wisdom not through endless chatter, but silent observation. The Buddha called it cultivating the garden of the mind. Modern research finds that meditation can literally rewire neural pathways. Harvard Medical School showed it thickens areas linked to attention and emotional regulation. Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius once mused, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." Today, neurohackers swap monks' robes for brainwave headbands, but the goal is the same: inner clarity. Will you achieve nirvana on your lunch break? Maybe not, but you might just unjam your mental printer. And who couldn't use that? Gamify your goals. Level up your life. Think life is tedious? Imagine it's an epic quest, and suddenly, brushing your teeth feels like beating the final boss, cavity. The idea of gamifying life stems from behavioral psychology. Our brains love rewards, achievements, and streaks. Ancient Romans tracked virtues with colored stones. Primitive XP points, you might say. Jane McGonigal, author of Reality is Broken, champions games as super tools for motivation. Apps like Habitica turn to-do lists into actual RPGs, and suddenly, taking out the trash earns you magic swords, or at least a blip of dopamine. Why slog through boring routines when you could level up your health, skills, or relationships? If life's a game, as the philosophers say, let's play harder and maybe stop rage-quitting our own goals. The power of no, decluttering your mind. Ever notice how geniuses, from Marie Curie to Steve Jobs, were champions of saying no? The difference between successful people and really successful people is that really successful people say no to almost everything, Warren Buffett wisely remarked. The power of no isn't just about declining invitations to boring parties. It's about clearing mental clutter. In Japanese Zen, simplicity is enlightenment. Neuroscientists warn that decision fatigue is real. Say yes to too much and your brain fizzles like a phone with 47 apps open. The power hack here: learn to prioritize goals, reduce distractions, and fiercely protect your mental bandwidth. After all, what's the point of superintelligence if you forget where you left your priorities? Next time, try a polite but firm no and enjoy the sudden clarity and maybe even free time. Walking to wisdom, the thinker's stride. Did you know that philosophers like Aristotle and Nietzsche were compulsive walkers? The Peripatetics, Aristotle's students, even got their name from their afternoon strolls. Research now shows what these walkers knew. Movement boosts creativity and problem solving. Stanford scientists found walking spikes creative output by 60%. So if you're stuck, ditch the whiteboard and take a hike, literally. Thoreau famously declared, "Methinks that the moment my legs begin to move, my thoughts begin to flow." Whether through leafy parks or cluttered hallways, walking invites an active idleness that lets ideas bloom. Think of it as mobile meditation. So why sit and stew when you can stride toward superintelligence? Got a brain block? Walk it off. The 5-minute rule. Instant insight. Here's a hack for all the procrastinators and perfectionists. Don't worry, your secret's safe here. Commit to just 5 minutes of any task. The idea isn't new. Psychologists call it the Zeigarnik effect. Unfinished tasks linger in your mind, begging for closure. Russian psychologist Bluma Zygarnik discovered it when she noticed waiters remembered unpaid orders better than completed ones. By promising yourself only 5 minutes, you trick your inner resistance and often keep going, like reading just one more page at bedtime. Productivity guru Tim Ferriss swears by it: if it's important, do it for 2 minutes. If you keep going, it was worth starting. This little rule breaks inertia and opens the mental gates to superintelligence, one tiny step at a time. Why climb Everest when you can start with just a single manageable hop? Found this video interesting? Leave us a like and subscribe for more videos like this one. Let us know what we should cover next in the comments below.